Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel where we discuss all things self-improvement, mind and body. So today we're going to be addressing a common, what's up with that hair? We're going to be discussing a common client question, which is what order should I program my workouts in? Should I be doing a warm-up and cool down? Should I be foam rolling before I stretch or after? Should I do cardio before or after weights? And all of those kinds of questions. Okay, now the first question I usually get is, should you do cardio first or should you do weights first? Well, when you have more energy, it can help to do the more difficult part of your workout, which is generally weight training first. Now, there's a lot of more complicated science as to like fat burning or optimal usage of programming for different things, but for your average gym goer, for somebody that has a 9 to 5 job and sits on the train or in the car and is not moving much the rest of the week, moving more matters a lot more than getting the optimal exact order of your workouts. Because let's say it burns, I don't know, 20, 50, I don't know, a certain amount of more calories to do cardio after. That doesn't matter as much to me as a trainer for a client asking this, because what's more important is that consistency. You know what burns a lot more calories? Working out 3 days a week forever than getting your order exactly right. And so for a sedentary individual, what I would always prioritize is adding movement as opposed to worrying about the perfect order. But if somebody is an athlete specifically, that answer is going to be a little bit more important with regards to performance. So making sure that we're doing those more difficult lifts before we're getting super tired. And this would be for any individual. I would not recommend running like 5 miles and then going and doing heavy lifts, because you're not going to have the energy you need for that. Now, as to weight training and warm-ups, a lot of times a dynamic warm-up is your best bet because it's getting you ready to move as opposed to long static holds. However, everything has an exception. If someone has extremely tight calves, I would want them to get a really good stretch in those calves before we lift. As far as foam rolling goes, it is better to foam roll before you stretch. That's because if the muscle, tissue, fascia, if everything is really, really tight, we want to get everything to calm down, relax, and release before we're trying to lengthen it. The way that I would structure this is first have somebody maybe walk on an incline or do a little bit of elliptical, about 5 minutes, get some blood flow. Then foam rolling, focusing specifically on tight areas. Like if you know that you have very tight quads, hanging out there on that foam roller for a couple minutes. Then warming up, doing both a nice dynamic warm up and some static holds. I would do those static holds first on the areas you're chronically tight, like for example, a hip flexor stretch for a minute or two. But then we would move into a nice dynamic warm up to get the body primed and ready for movement, and then move into our workout. Now, how you structure your workout should be compound lifts first, things that are using many muscle groups, like you doing a bench press, squat, deadlift, those main lifts first, then moving into more isolated movements at the end of the workout, like things like you don't need to be doing your bicep curls at the beginning of the workout. You'd save that more towards the end. Okay, then finally a cool down. I like to have my clients foam roll after if they have time, stretch out a bit, especially again focusing on the tight areas. Let me know if you guys have any more questions on fitness and psychology. Let me know what you think down below. Are there any questions you have? Anything pertaining to those topics? And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next week.